Optimizing female hormones for vitality and longevity. Hormones are chemical messengers that regulate many physiological processes, including metabolism, mood, energy levels, reproductive health, and aging. Female hormones, particularly estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, fluctuate throughout life and are influenced by genetics, diet, lifestyle, and environmental factors. Understanding hormonal health optimization is crucial for women's overall well-being, whether in puberty, reproductive years, perimenopause, or menopause. This will be broken up into 2 lectures. In this video, we will tackle puberty, adolescence, and reproductive years, while in the following video, we will address perimenopause and menopause. Let's begin. First, we need to understand hormonal phases and their impact on our health. This begins in puberty and adolescence, which is around the ages of 8 through 18. The hormonal shifts that occur during this time are marked by increased secretion of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, leading to secondary sexual characteristics such as breast development, menstrual cycles, and body hair. The common symptoms during puberty and adolescence are acne, mood swings, irregular periods, weight gain, and insulin sensitivity changes. Specifically, in regards to insulin sensitivity changes during puberty and adolescence, a physiological decline in insulin sensitivity occurs. This phenomenon is known as pubertal insulin resistance, which typically peaks during mid-puberty and is more pronounced in muscle and adipose tissue than in the liver. A key driver of this change is growth hormone, which increases significantly during puberty and promotes lipolysis, or the breakdown of fat. The resulting rise in free fatty acids interferes with insulin signaling, making tissues less responsive to insulin. Although IGF-1 shares some insulin-like properties, it does not fully compensate for the transient insulin resistance. Sex hormones also play a role, with estrogen exhibiting pro- and anti-insulin effects, while testosterone in moderate amounts supports muscle growth and insulin sensitivity, but excessive levels, such as those seen in conditions like polycystic ovarian syndrome, can impair insulin functions. As puberty progresses, insulin sensitivity begins to partially recover, though it may not return to pre-pubertal levels in all individuals. This recovery is largely influenced by body composition, genetics, and lifestyle factors such as diet and physical activity. This highlights the importance of young girls' healthy habits forming at an early age. Encouraging movement and a balanced diet filled with bright fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and proper hydration. Adolescents who experience higher excessive body fat, a sedentary lifestyle, or a diet high in processed carbohydrates tend to have prolonged insulin resistance, increasing their risk for metabolic disturbances such as prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or metabolic syndrome. While pubertal insulin resistance is generally a temporary adaptation to support growth and development in at-risk populations, it can mask underlying metabolic dysfunction. Recognizing these physiological changes is crucial in understanding the metabolic health of adolescents and the importance of early lifestyle interventions to support long-term insulin sensitivity and reduce the risk of future chronic disease. For your young girls, please use these optimization strategies. 1. A balanced diet. Reduce processed foods and sugar to minimize insulin resistance, which is linked to PCOS. This includes phytonutrients, which are plentiful in fruits and vegetables, healthy fats such as avocados, olive oil, eggs, and ghee, and quality proteins from beef, fish, and poultry. From these food recommendations, remember consuming omega-3s, monosaturated fats, and cholesterol-rich foods provide the substrates for estrogen and progesterone synthesis. 2. Focus on her gut health. Encourage fiber-rich foods like sauerkraut, pickles without vinegar, and kimchi to promote estrogen detoxification, as well as feeding her healthy gut bugs to enhance her cognitive function. 3. Stress management. Teach mindfulness to prevent early cortisol imbalances by introducing yoga and deep breathing. Our next hormonal phase we will look at is the female reproductive years, occurring between the ages of 18 to 45. During reproductive years, hormones fluctuate in a predictable monthly cycle, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal phases. This impacts fertility, mood, energy, and metabolism. Often noted issues during this time are PMS, endometriosis, and PCOS. All can arise, causing irregularities in hormone production. By understanding why they occur during reproductive years, we can better appreciate their impact and explore effective interventions from a functional medicine perspective. Why do these conditions occur during reproductive years? The reproductive years, spanning from puberty to menopause, are characterized by cyclical hormonal fluctuations primarily governed by the hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis, HPO. Estrogen and progesterone levels rise and fall in coordination with the menstrual cycle, influencing not just fertility, but also metabolic, immune, and neurological functions. When these hormonal rhythms become imbalanced, conditions like PMS, endometriosis, and PCOS can emerge. Let's examine each condition in detail. PMS occurs in the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle, typically after ovulation, when progesterone levels are elevated. Symptoms can include mood disturbances, bloating, breast tenderness, and headaches, as well as fatigue. The exact cause is multifactorial, but research suggests that altered progesterone metabolism, serotonin fluctuations, and inflammation play key roles. Some individuals experience heightened sensitivity to these hormonal shifts, leading to more pronounced symptoms. Nutritional deficiencies such as inadequate amounts of magnesium, B6, and omega-3 fatty acids can increase negative symptoms. Additionally, chronic stress and impaired cortisol regulation can intensify mood-related aspects of PMS. Next, we will look at endometriosis. Endometriosis is an estrogen-dependent condition in which endometrial-like tissue grows outside the uterus, leading to chronic pelvic pain, inflammation, and infertility. This condition arises during the reproductive years because it is driven by estrogen, which promotes the proliferation of ectopic endometrial tissue. Dysregulated immune responses contribute to the persistence of these endometrial-like tissue growths, and as the immune system fails to clear the misplaced tissue effectively, pain arises. Research suggests that oxidative stress and environmental toxins such as endocrine-disrupting chemicals may further exacerbate disease progression. Endocrine-disrupting chemicals are found in a wide range of everyday products, often making exposure unavoidable without conscious effort to minimize it. One of the most common sources is plastics, which contain chemicals such as BPA and phthalates, both of which can leach into food and beverages from plastic containers, water bottles, or even the linings of canned goods. A not commonly discussed plastic source that I personally find most important for women of all ages, but especially young girls, are the plastics found in our underwear. Many synthetic fabrics, such as polyester, nylon, and spandex, are derived from petroleum-based plastics and may contain chemicals like phthalates, BPA, BPS, and PFAS, which all have been linked to hormone disruption. Phthalates often used to increase flexibility in synthetic fabrics, which can leach out over time, especially with heat, moisture, or friction. PFAS, commonly found in moisture-wicking and stain-resistant underwear, are known for their persistence in the body and the environment, potentially interfering with thyroid and reproductive hormones. Additionally, dyes and other chemical treatments used in textile production can contribute to endocrine disruption and skin irritation. While research on direct absorption through the skin is still developing, prolonged contact with synthetic fabrics, especially in intimate areas, raises concern. Choosing organic cotton, bamboo, or other natural fibers and avoiding underwear labeled as moisture-wicking, stain-resistant, or antimicrobial can help reduce exposure to these chemicals. Next, looking at our food supply. Pesticides and herbicides used in agriculture, such as atrazine and glyphosate, disrupt hormone function and are commonly found in conventionally grown produce and drinking water. Personal care products, including lotions, shampoos, cosmetics, and deodorants, can contain parabens and triclosan, both of which have been linked to hormonal imbalances. Industrial chemicals, such as PCBs and dioxins, are persistent environmental pollutants found in contaminated fish, dairy products, and meats, while PFAS, as mentioned earlier, are present in nonstick cookware, stain-resistant fabrics, and fast food packaging. Additionally, food additives and preservatives, including artificial sweeteners and certain emulsifiers, can disrupt gut microbiota and endocrine function. With EDCs so widely distributed in environment and consumer products, it is crucial to recognize their sources and take proactive measures to reduce exposure whenever possible. Gut microbiome imbalances, particularly alterations of gut bacteria involved in estrogen metabolism, which plays a role in estrogen recycling and symptom severity. Finally, we can look at polycystic ovarian syndrome. PCOS is a metabolic endocrine disorder characterized by ovarian dysfunction, insulin resistance, and elevated male sex hormones in women. It manifests during reproductive years due to persistent anovulation, where the ovaries fail to release an egg regularly, leading to irregular menstrual cycles and cyst formation. Elevated insulin levels stimulate ovarian androgen production, disrupting follicular development and contributing to symptoms such as excessive hair growth in areas that typically occur in men, such as face, chest, and back. PCOS also can show up with increased acne and weight gain. Chronic low-grade inflammation further perpetuates insulin resistance and hormonal imbalance. Factors such as genetic predisposition, poor dietary habits, sedentary lifestyle, and environmental toxin exposure can increase the risk and severity of PCOS. Unlike PMS and endometriosis, which are more directly tied to estrogen and progesterone fluctuations, PCOS is strongly influenced by metabolic dysregulation and androgen excess. For women in their reproductive years, here are optimization strategies. 1. Cycle-specific nutrition. Align dietary choices with menstrual phases. For instance, let's begin with menstrual phase, which spans approximately days 1 to 5. During this time, estrogen and progesterone levels are at their lowest, leading to fatigue, potential cramping, and increased nutrient loss due to menstruation. The primary focus during this phase should be on restoration and replenishment. From a nutritional perspective, it is essential to consume iron-rich foods such as grass-fed beef, lentils, and spinach to compensate for blood loss. Pairing these with vitamin C-rich foods like citrus fruits and bell peppers enhances iron absorption. Hydration is equally important to support circulation and reduce bloating. In terms of movement, gentle activities like yoga, walking, and stretching can help alleviate cramps and improve blood flow without placing undue stress on the body. This is also a crucial time for stress and sleep optimization, as the body will benefit from additional rest. Moving into the follicular phase, which lasts from day 6 to 14, we see a steady rise in estrogen, leading to increased energy, enhanced metabolism, and improved insulin sensitivity. This phase is ideal for strength building, cognitive function, and overall vitality. Nutritionally, women should emphasize lean proteins such as chicken, fish, and tofu, along with healthy fats like avocado and olive oil. Complex carbohydrates, including quinoa and sweet potatoes, provide sustained energy, while fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, and yogurt support gut health for hormone metabolism. Because estrogen enhances muscle recovery, this phase is optimal for high-intensity strength training and endurance workouts. Additionally, cognitive function is at its peak, making this a great time for productivity and creative projects. Up next is the ovulatory phase, occurring between the days of 15 to 17. It represents the peak of estrogen and luteinizing hormone, LH. This triggers the release of an egg. Women often experience heightened energy, confidence, and social engagement during this time. To support hormone balance, detoxification, and fertility, it is beneficial to increase consumption of cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, and Brussels sprouts, as they aid estrogen metabolism. Since body temperature tends to rise slightly during ovulation, maintaining adequate hydration is key. This phase is ideal for high-intensity workouts, including heavy strength training and cardiovascular endurance exercises, as energy levels are at their highest. However, because cortisol sensitivity is also heightened, women should engage in activities that prevent excessive stress, such as breathwork. Look into incorporating adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha and rhodiola if deemed safe by your healthcare practitioner, and grounding exercises like barefoot walking. It is also important to note consuming zinc-rich foods such as pumpkin seeds and shellfish, as they are beneficial for immune function and reproductive health. Especially if you should want to conceive, zinc is a crucial mineral. Zinc is vital for ovulation and egg maturation. It helps regulate follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, and luteinizing hormone, LH, both of which are necessary for the release of a mature egg during ovulation. Without sufficient zinc, ovulation may become irregular or impaired, reducing the likelihood of conception. Zinc also supports corpus luteum function, which is the temporary endocrine structure that produces progesterone after ovulation. Adequate progesterone is necessary for the uterine lining to thicken and prepare for implantation. Additionally, zinc plays a role in egg quality by protecting against oxidative stress and DNA damage, ensuring that the egg remains viable for fertilization. Finally, we transition into the luteal phase, which spans approximately through days 18 to 28. Progesterone levels rise, preparing the body for a potential pregnancy. This hormonal shift can lead to mood swings, bloating, cravings, and fatigue due to changes in neurotransmitter activity and blood sugar fluctuations. Nutritional strategies should focus on stabilizing blood sugar and supporting progesterone metabolism. Magnesium-rich foods like dark chocolate, spinach, and almonds are all recommended, while fiber-rich foods like chia seeds, flax seeds, and vegetables support hormone detoxification. Complex carbohydrates like quinoa and brown rice provide steady energy and prevent mood disturbances as well. It is also advisable to reduce caffeine and alcohol intake, as both can interfere with progesterone function and exacerbate anxiety. Exercise should shift towards lower impact activities like Pilates, yoga, and light resistance training, which help maintain movement without overloading the nervous system. Sleep quality often declines in this phase, making it essential to implement a structured evening routine, including magnesium supplementation, herbal teas like chamomile and valerian root, and minimizing blue light exposure before bed to improve your sleep quality. In conclusion, understanding female hormonal health is essential for optimizing vitality and longevity. From puberty to reproductive years, hormonal fluctuations impact metabolism, mood, and overall well-being. By addressing diet, movement, stress management, and environmental exposures, we can support balanced hormone function and reduce the risk of metabolic and reproductive disorders. Early interventions, such as promoting insulin sensitivity, gut health, and minimizing endocrine disruptors, empower women to take control of their health. In the next lecture, we will explore hormonal shifts in perimenopause and menopause, providing strategies to navigate this transformative stage with resilience and vitality. Thank you.